The military becomes a way of life, of course, and it teaches you discipline, organization, management, leadership, and you've got to have all these qualities if you're going to continue to rise in rank. When I came out of the service and went to work for the Boeing company, that was my second career. I went to as an example, I went to a leadership management course for Boeing. And the first day, the instructor asked something, they gave a problem, and everybody was hemming and hawing about what they would do. And they asked me, I said, well, I'd fire him first, and then I would consider these other things. And for the rest of the course, whatever the situation was, they would say, what would you do? And then leave, what would you do? And it was my military training that was coming out, and my management skills and my leadership skills. So that were being tested, I guess, there against what the civilian community would think. I kidnapped Joan Collins, who was a Playmate of the Year. She came to Vietnam to present a lifetime subscription to the 197th Infantry Brigade. And when they landed at Tonstanout, the brigade had an honor guard and a red carpet coming down. When she got to the end of the carpet, I stepped up and said, Miss Collins, your aircraft awaits you. And I took her by the arm, put her in the aircraft, and showed her Saigon from the air, and then landed and took her to her hotel. About 2 days later, of course, the infantry brigade was wondering where Miss Collins was, because she was supposed to be with them. There was a mutual admiration between the aviation folks and the infantry. The infantry lived in the mud, and they faced death 24 hours a day. And the only way they were able to get food, ammunition, or get in and out of the jungle was by helicopters. But we admired those guys for all they did. I can remember one time, this is another Chinook story, came into a landing zone, and over the radio they said, we got a guy that's he's going to get some R&R. Can you take him back? I said, sure, tell him to get on board. The mud was about this deep, and he fell in the mud and couldn't get up. Now, my crew chiefs threw out a rope and actually pulled him in to the helicopter in the back of it. And he's laying on the floor just laughing and screaming and covered in mud, but he was getting out of there for a few days. I have a Distinguished Flying Cross, and that was for evacuating a wounded soldier out of a Viet Cong-held jungle. They call it a combat emergency, and so we sent a helicopter out, flying blackout until you go to land. But when you go to land, you got to turn on your landing light to see where you're going right before you touch down. If you don't like it, you just turn it off. But I mean, so I went in and picked up this wounded soldier. And I wondered, why didn't they call medevac instead of declaring a combat emergency and call our unit for help? He was a dog handler. He and the dog were wounded. And they were afraid if they called a medevac, they wouldn't let the dog on board. So
you flew a dog.
So I brought the dog and the guy back.